What's going on, gang? This is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and today we're going to be talking about the do's and the don'ts of rehabbing rental property. Now, I've been having rental property since 2006, 2007, and the last crash when everyone was running out of real estate, when real estate melted down. And so I have a very good understanding of what should be done in rental properties. When I first got into the game, I would want to rehab the houses more than what it should be till I learned my lesson. So one of the most important things that I'm going to share with you is not to over rehab a rental property. So the very first thing that I do every time I buy a rental property is that I remove the flooring. Okay, because majority of these entry level homes that I work with, I don't buy war homes or in war area zones. I don't do that. I buy pretty homes in pretty areas that are going to appreciate entry level homes, first time home buyers. Excuse me. So most of these properties have carpet. So the first thing I do is I remove the carpet in all the rental properties I have. So the very first thing I do is remove the carpet and put vinyl flooring in all the rentals that I have. So what I normally do is I pull out a 26-foot vinyl rate that I can negotiate. Usually a 26-foot truck, I fill it up with vinyl. So I'll buy pallets and pallets at one time. So I'll end up buying, you know, enough pallets to probably do 10 properties at one time, okay, and have some little extra for later on. And the reason I do that is instead of just square foot. Two, I get to stock up on stuff because when I have rental properties and something happens, I want to use the same exact flooring for every unit. So the first thing I do is I rip off the floor and I put vinyl in all my rental houses, and they're all the same vinyl, the same color, same everything. Okay. So the very first thing is I rip up the carpet and I put vinyl, and the vinyls in all my rentals are exactly the same because when I buy vinyl, I go out there with a 26-foot and I'll buy pallets after pallets, and I try to buy the best deal possible. The last time I bought vinyl that looked like wood floor, Armstrong, I paid 21 cents per square foot, okay, which is extremely. Now, one thing I want to let most people know is if you want to decide to do vinyl flooring on your rental properties, please make sure that you don't skim out on the cheap glue. Because if you skim out on a cheap glue and you have rentals, there's a lot of traffic. People are not going to take care of your property like it's yours. They spill stuff, they water, they go to the pool, they take showers, whatever they do, right? If you have the cheap glue, you have your contractors get the premium glue on the vinyls. And if you do that, the vinyls on my houses at least last 6 to 10 years. So I put it down 6 to 10 years. Once in a while, I might have to go and peel one up and put one down because maybe someone was moving flooring. So the very first thing I do is vinyl, and all my rental properties have the same exact vinyl. They have vinyl. Okay, I use the same vinyl. Now, the second thing I do on all my rentals when I get it is I paint them all the same color. So once again, I pull up the 26-foot truck, I go and I negotiate on paint, and I buy 5 gallons, 10 gallons, the biggest I can, as many as I can, and I storage them. Paint as the walls in the kitchen and the bedrooms, and the rest are all the same exact paint. So my flooring, they're all exactly the same. My paint, they're all exactly the same. It doesn't matter which rental property. So the reason I keep it all the same is because it's so hard to, for example, if I have, let's say the vinyl is one color and then something happens, I have to go find that exact vinyl and I'm not going to find it. And so what I have to do is tear up the whole place and put a new one because it's going to look all odd. Where when I stack up on that, I solve that problem. And by putting all the same vinyls in all the floors, all the rental houses, I never have that problem either. Same thing with the paint. I don't ever have to go look for paint because I'm using the same exact paint in all the rental houses. So the second do is I always use the same exact color paint for all the rental houses, all the rooms, all the ceilings, just the one color. So when I first get a home and their entry level home, they usually have different color paints on the ceilings and whatever. I just go ahead and paint it all the same color paint, okay? And what I use is semi-gloss. Okay, because that usually holds up pretty good. And I don't skim on the paint either. I try to get pretty good quality paint. That don't have to go uh, every time someone moves out and paint the whole house. Because if you get good quality paint and you pay a house cleaner and you say, hey, just wet the cloth and the areas that has stains on it, just start wiping it out, and those dirt and those stains will come out if you have good quality paint. So I get semi gloss paint. The paints are all the same in all my rental properties. All the rooms have the same exact paint. The ceilings have the exact paint. The restrooms, the bathrooms, the kitchens, everything's the same. So now what I've done is I assembly line my rentals. All the floorings are the same. All the paints are the same. And guess what? I can have any Joe say, go to the storage and get the paint, and I don't have to worry about them getting the wrong paint and painting the wrong house. If you ever had workers, construction workers, or people that you manage, you know sometimes they can't follow instructions. So if you ever had that problem, you could eliminate it by simplifying it. You say, go to the storage, get the paint. They're all the same paint. You say, get the flooring. They're all the same flooring. It makes life really, really simple. If you guys have any questions about the do's and don'ts about rental properties, you have any questions about real estate, buying houses subject to, this is a great time to ask it, guys. And by the way, all those trees there, they're all produce fruit. Every single one. These are not just for looks. We actually eat off that stuff. Okay, pretty amazing. All right, the other. Let's talk about some of the don'ts because I talked about some of the do's. I never allow my renters to color my home or do editing or do additions. I never allow that. Okay. Also, I never allow them to do some of the rehab for the property for exchange for rent. I never do that. Okay. Never, never, never. I will never do that. Too much liability and responsibility, and it's going to be hard to go to front of the judge and say, look, I'm evicting him because he didn't paint the house correctly and blah blah blah. So I never do any of that stuff. Another note thing to do is I never do this stuff is have like different stuff for different houses. For example, if I'm gonna do the light bulbs, I always get the same exact light bulb, and I try to buy them at a deep discount a lot so I can put it in my storage. Right? When I try to buy something, I don't just try to go get one or two or three or four. I try to get pallets, and then I try to negotiate, like I'm talking about hard, like you never seen before, where I'm getting stuff like 60%, 40% off because I'm buying at big volume, and I'll shop around till I can get that. Okay. So I never just go buy a couple of things. When I go, I go bring my cash, bring my truck, fill it up so I can get the best deals, guys. Now, some of the mistakes that I've made originally was like I would upgrade my rental properties. Like I would put really expensive fans, like like $400 fans where I had remote control and all this fancy stuff. Now, fans are not something that people can damage, can break, but I really learned, like, if I just put a $50 fan, it's going to be the same exact thing if I put a $400 fan. Okay. And that was like my very first couple of deals that I'd done, two or three deals. For rental properties, I would kind of overdo it, right? I would do too much. I don't do that anymore. Okay. All of them look the same color, same flooring. Now, one thing I would definitely do is, or you could say don't do, is make sure when you are ready to turn that house, when you're ready to turn that rental, you really pay someone to clean it, because that's what I call a do or don't. Please don't clean it yourself and half-ass it, or pay someone and half-ass it. You really want to like deep clean the property, like all the little cracks, all the restroom where they pee, the curtain, everything should look as best as possible. And I will definitely also put some smell good, right? Some people come in and you want to rent it out, you want to make sure you do that. Okay. One of the biggest mistakes I see is a lot of people spend money in rehabbing the property, and they just don't pay someone that's like a clean freak to like clean out the property, right? Um, and that doesn't cost that much, but it really gets a really good return. It really gets sticky. People come to your home, they smell that smell, they remember your home, and because it's clean, it'll rent out a lot faster. So one of the things, the reasons I put the flooring vinyl is because most renters will prefer that, right? If they have pets, if they have kids, they prefer that. So my rental properties basically move a lot faster because it smell good. It's really sparkling clean. Like I'd rather pay someone a little extra to really clean it out. Okay. Here's some other things that I also do in rentals that help me get more money, right? And I call that in my rehab, right? Because when I buy a rental house, I always go and negotiate from the seller direct, get their washer and dryer, right? I was like, hey, I try to negotiate. Now, if I couldn't get the washer and dryer, then I'll just go on Craigslist or something and buy some for very cheap. And I always put that into all the properties. And then what I do is I charge $75 a month, $150 a month extra for that just washer and dryer, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And at the same time, hey, sweetheart, come here, come here, come here, guys. Hello. So daddy's talking about rental properties, right? Say hello. All right. So one of the best rehab costs, I think, is putting washer and dryers in rental properties. They don't cost that much. You get them on Craigslist. You can even sometimes find them for free, but you get more cash flow from it, and it's an easier sell because I just say is this rehab cost because a washer and dryer I just put it in every rental properties, and I'll even have some in the storage facility just as backup. Okay. Say hello. Say go America. Right. All right, guys. Other simple thing is for rehab is you don't want to spend money on expensive items like expensive doorknobs, cabinet knobs, um, toilet tops. For example, if you go to a property and the toilet's like jacked up, a lot of times you don't even have to replace the whole toilet. All you have to do is just replace the toilet seat, the top part. And that top part may look ugly for just like 25 bucks or less. 9, 20 bucks, you can replace the seat and it looks brand new, right? Where if you have to go take the whole toilet off, the bathtubs, right? Like most of these homes, anytime you use them for a while, the bathtubs look nasty, right? So what I do is instead of replacing it, we paint over it, right? We paint over it so when they go look at the restroom, so that is a very small cost too. So simply put, don't spend a lot of money. Yeah. Okay. Because you're not in the business of raising business of making a massive cash cow and squeezing every penny you can from increasing the cash flow versus equity because you're not selling at that time, right? If I was going to sell the property, then I would put better fans in there, for example. If I thought that was going to increase the property, I would do more work to it. Okay, I wouldn't paint the whole house the same color. But in the rental business, I realized that I wanted to be the most easy as possible. I want to let my rehabber Jose say, "Hey, go get the paint and go do this property," and he's not going to get confused on which paint he should pick up because it's very very easy. And all the stuff that we're going to do is not to really like improve the home value up, but it's to make it more in a cash flow, like putting that washer and dryer in there because it makes life easier for them, for the renters, and it also makes more positive cash flow for me. Okay, so everything I'm going to be doing is a relationship between how much cash flow am I going to get and how much money I'm going to put. If I do something and I'm not going to get more cash flow from it, then I'm not going to do it unless it's like a major thing, like the roof is down, guys. All right. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Click the like button. By the way, my profit sharing coaching, okay, we're meeting Saturday from 10 to 11, which is this Saturday coming up. If you're interested in finding deals where you're able to buy them at a deep discount, or if you're able to get owner financing, doesn't matter if you want to do wholesaling, you want to do fix and flips, if you want to uh, do be a landlord like what I am, the best way, in my opinion, to buy real estate is to work with homeowners direct, not to buy from trustees, not from the banks, not from real estate agents, is to work with homeowners direct because homeowners direct are motivated. If you find the motivated ones are motivated and they're willing to just give you the house, they're willing to just let you take over their payments, or they're willing to let you have a lot of their equity for so many different reasons because there's so much of different types of motivation. Some people go into a divorce, some people have lost their husbands, some people lost their jobs, so on and so on. Where you're never going to be able to find deals like that working with a real estate agent, working at the auction, working, you know, um, Bank-owned properties, you're not gonna find deals like that, okay? Because A, everyone else is doing it, and then two, there's too many middlemen in there that are sophisticated, and they're gonna eat up your profit. Where the way I do it is I work with homeowners direct, and the way I teach it at profit sharing at mrnofluff.com is how to find these homeowners direct, how to create a win-win situation for them, for you. Sometimes that means just buying their house at a deep discount. Sometimes that means by just taking over their payments. Sometimes that just means by creating some type of owner financing. Sometimes that means by creating equity maximizers, doing options or other solutions that you win and the seller wins, and you can put food on the table and the seller is able to move to the next chapter of their life. Okay, that's what I do. If you want to learn how to do that, right, then you should join me this Saturday at profit sharing at mrnofluff.com, guys. Thanks for watching. Hustle and bustle. See you later.